All right, good morning, guys. We are going to be working on a Raleigh Dash Plus this morning. Nice, large, vintage mountain bike frame. Really, really cool colors on it. Love purple. So I'm really excited about that purple accent color on this bike. But yeah, first, we got to take it over to my favorite bike shop on the Gold Coast, Village Bicycles. And we're going to get the wheel trued, pick out some more parts for it, and then we'll finish it up back at home. So first, we got to take my cargo bike with the wheel all the way over to Burley Heads to get this wheel trued up. All right, we'll see you there. All right, so we got the wheel back from Village Cycles after we got it all trued up, so we're gonna throw it back on the bike because I don't have a bike stand, and this will just make everything else a lot easier once we get this back on. So just gonna throw the wheel back on and we'll go from there. All right, already cleaned up the bike pretty good a little while ago because I did need to use it as a commuter before I could get it fully up and functioning how I wanted. And then I took a lot of the parts off and threw it on another bike, a commuter that I took to Village Cycles today. So realistically, I'm not going to do too much cleaning on the bike other than a wipe down of the frame and other parts like that, because it's in pretty decent condition and the patina of the frame I think is cool. So just going to use some soapy water and some WD-40 to get off those really gnarly stains. And then really after that, it's going to be all about building this bike up. Yeah, so I mean, I get my bikes for very cheap from Village Cycles and Facebook Marketplace, and usually they're not in the best condition, but that's okay, because they don't have to be perfect for me. As long as it rides well and looks cool, it's all that matters. Probably going to throw on the handlebars and cranks to see how they look, and kind of go from there with the build. So for handlebars, picked these up at Village Cycles. Some nice cruiser style bars for a nice comfy ride, as this is going to be another commuter bike for me. So I'll throw those on, and then for the cranks, I got these Shimano's. I got the Shimano, what is this? 300EX, made in Japan. So some really nice crank arms with two different chainring options. Not sure what I want to run on it yet, but we do have the two different chainring options, two different chainring sizes that I can choose from. I do need to clean up these bolts and all of these parts, honestly. But we're just going to throw them on the bike and see how it all looks. I don't know, that front chainring looks really big, but I think I might want that amount of pull in it. Or if I go with the size down, it might be a little more mellow. Let me know what you think I should do. Big chainring, medium chainring, 52 or 40. Those are my options. Okay, so while we work, we do need to clean. Again, we have the 52 tooth front chainring or the 40 chainring. I think right now I'm leaning towards the 40, but the 52 could be really cool and fast and fun. And I love fast and fun. But either way, these bolts, super rusted. This chainring, not rusted very bad, but does need a cleanup. So we are going to throw both chainrings, the bolts, maybe even this crank arm, in this Bunnings bucket with some white vinegar and some Rain X Rust Buster, rust converter. So I'm going to disassemble this, throw it all in the bucket, let it sit for probably 30 to 45 minutes, give it a clean up with a wire and nylon brush, and hopefully we should be good to go to finish the build today. So we got my bucket of chainrings and chainring bolts full of white vinegar and that rust buster mix to help take off the rust and clean these parts up. We'll let it sit for about an hour, and then we'll check and see if it's worked. Usually you want to let it sit for like 12 to 24 hours for it to make its like biggest impact. But I do want to try to get this bike up and running today, so we're just going to take a look at it after an hour and see if we're in a spot to use these. If not, we'll come back to it tomorrow. So the next thing we can tackle that will be really easy is changing the seat. We're going to throw on this Brev M seat. Came off another one of my bikes. I got a new seat for that bike at Village Cycles. We're going to throw this one on here. I think it'll look good with the white frame. Yeah. When I first built this bike up, we had the, comfy beach cruiser seat on it. Just for something, nice and fun, comfortable. But I really hate how it looks, and it's way too big. And honestly, I don't find these seats that comfortable. So we're gonna throw on this Brev M seat. And we should be good to go. It'll definitely help with the profile of the bike. Yeah, a lot. So, but let's throw that on. Take a step back. Looks like it needs to be tilted down a bit and move a little to the left. So that's what we'll do. Okay, take a look at that. Seat position looks much better. Probably just needs to level out. We should be good. We should be good to go. Beautiful. That should be good. Next up, we're gonna chuck on the handlebars. The one thing that I'm not too happy about is the silver with the black stem. I think I would want it to be silver on silver, especially because my seat post is silver. I think that that would ultimately look the best. The other thing that I do wish that these handlebars had were a bit more width to them. It's a nice cruiser style, but it is pretty tight of a cruiser style. Tighten these bad boys down. See how it looks. Make sure we get that angle somewhat correct to how we would want to be riding it. Something like that, I think. But yeah, some nice old school cruiser bars. Good morning, legends. It is the next morning. We let these front chainrings and chainring bolts sit in this vinegar and rust mixture overnight so that we are hopefully going to be all ready to go to finish the Raleigh this morning. So step one, we're going to pour out the mixture. We're going to use this little pasta drainer to make sure that we don't lose any of our bolts. Next, we're just going to take a little nylon brush here and scrub it down. And finally, we're going to hit all of these pieces with a bit of WD-40. Gotta get that WD on there. This is going to help clean up any of the excess grease and things on these pieces, as well as it's going to help prevent flash rusting and any other rusting that might occur. So if you live in a tropical place or you just want to prevent rusting, WD-40 is a fantastic cleaning agent for that. It will help clean up the items as well as help prevent as much rusting as you really can prevent. Look how much better these bolts look. They look significantly better. They still look a bit pitted, so hopefully we don't have any issues with that. The threads look fine. My biggest worry would be the actual Allen key slot. Might get a bit pitted and could cause an issue there. So we're going to cross our fingers and hope that there isn't an issue. Clean up these Shimano cranks real quick. I don't have anything to polish these things with here at my house. We do things pretty simple. We get them clean and working right, but they don't have to be shiny and perfect. And ultimately, that's okay. We don't need them to be perfect, you know? So we're just going to hit it with a quick rub down. Okay. They're not perfect. They don't look great, but they're going to work fantastic. So we're going to take these, our chainring bolts, and our big boy 52 tooth cog here. And we're going to have ourselves a fun little front chainring. Look at that. It's going to be a fun crank right there. Through the back with the first bolt, and then we're just going to hand tighten the other bolts on for now. We'll come back and really get them tight down. But yeah, we're just going to go in through the back with that. Next up, we're going to throw on the gears and brakes, and then we'll cable them up. Just see how everything fit on there. And because I'm American, I will be doing my back brake on the right side. Oh, fuck. Yeah, this looks pretty good. See where the grips will sit. Bada bing, bada boom. I think we got some winners. Yeah, this one's a fun one to work on. And then the brake gets locked from the inside. All right, so we do have a new lovely chain for this bike, which unfortunately costed probably about half as much as the bike itself. So that's a little upsetting that these new parts that I'm throwing on the bike cost so much. But take this thing out and throw it on the bike. First things first, we do want to give the chain a wipe down with some WD-40 because the grease that new chains are packaged in are typically not bike friendly. So we will, my goodness, get our handy WD-40 out that we use everything, we clean everything with. Spray down this new chain, some WD-40, clean it up, and then we're going to throw it on the bike. So to size it, you're going to throw it on the biggest front cog and the biggest rear cog. Bring it over. You're going to add about 2 lengths. So we're going to say probably right there where we want to do it. Beautiful. This is probably the hardest part. It's got to go through this little spot there. Pull that through. Okay, beautiful. And then it's got to go back up and down through this. Pieces of the chain. Then we're going to take our new rivet, throw some chain lube on it. Just going to make it a little easier to do. Oh yeah, the perks of not working on a bike stand, man. Okay, so then we want to insert our new rivet like so, and take our chain braking tool and we'll use it to push the new chain in. And once the new rivet is in, we can break off the other side and we will be good to go. The key here is to make sure that we press this new chain link in as straight as possible. There we go. That looks perfect. Beautiful. And then on the back side here, we just need to break that off. It's pretty easy. So we're going to break that off, and then we have our new chain. Let's see if I can get a better shot of this. Hopefully that looks pretty good. This is what I got. Some So, to be honest, I think pedals are one of the most important pieces to your bike to make it look good. And unfortunately, I don't have any cool pedals to put on it today. So we're just going to be throwing on these basic black plastic pedals that I had in my bin of stuff, just so that it's rideable until I can get cooler, better pedals. But these will do the job. And to be honest, sometimes that's all that matters, is that your bike is rideable and works. So we're going to throw these on. And that is the finished product. I am super happy with this bike, considering 99.9% of this bike is built up using secondhand parts and things that people donated to Village Cycles because they didn't want anymore. So considering this bike is built up of basically other people's trash and is one of the most fun bikes that I have in my collection, I couldn't be happier with this bike build. It is super interesting having a really big front chainring meant for high speeds and a super comfortable riding position, but I've found to really love it because I do love to go fast, and the riding position is just so comfortable. So although it is contradictory
to each other, it is a super fun ride, and I've really enjoyed this bike. I've been using it as my daily commuter for about the last month, and I don't have anything that I want to change on it. I'm super happy with this build, and it was super fun. So if you're in need of a bike, you don't always have to go to the bike shop and buy that $3,000 bike. Sometimes when you pay $100 on Facebook Marketplace, or even pick up a free bike off Facebook Marketplace and find a bunch of parts from your local village bike shed, you can really create one of the most fun bikes out there on the road. And that's all that biking is about. It's about having fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you next time in another Bike Guy video. Bike Guy out.